A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, on the show tonight, there's a lot to talk about. Of course, there's the English Premier League and a lot also happening on the domestic scene. And of course, I usually don't do this alone. I'm always with my partner, colleague, Austin Akpan. You should be welcoming me back. But anyway, it's good to see you again, Austin.
What a great things to you, Yemi. It's good to have you back on the show. And what a time for you to return. Arsenal giving you that return gift, well deserved. The Gunners at the Emirates Stadium, they lead by 3-0 against Chelsea. If Arsenal wins tonight, they get back on top of the Premier League table. And then that chase for the league title with Manchester City will continue. What a fantastic story the Gunners are telling about you going down and getting back up, because that defeat against Manchester City would have left them deflated, but they picked themselves back up. 18th minute into this game against Chelsea, Martin Odegaard opened scoring. Captain, fantastic. It was a beautiful goal, Yemi. And I tell you, minutes later, he made it 2. In fact, he's taking things personal tonight. And then Gabriel Jesus made it Arsenal 3, Chelsea 0 at halftime.
It's getting interesting. We'll talk about that and more, all for you. And also the title wait in Naples, the fans getting set for what they know will be a title in the back. It's going to be the first since the Diego Maradona era in Naples. And that should get us talking. But before we get excited and forget the fact that we have somebody waiting in the wings to join us on the show, let me quickly also let the viewers know that Kehinde Idris is with us. And of course, he joins us as we take this trip on the money-spinning world of sports. Kehinde Idris, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
It's good to be here. It's good to, share the studio with you almost every Tuesday night. And also, I think Austin is the in-swinger. He's always coming with those, very beautiful in-swings and all of that. Then also, you started on a note that has to do a lot with Arsenal. I'm somebody who loves the setting, the club, and all of that. So, like I said so many weeks ago, while Arsenal was still, buzzing and doing so right, I said enjoy the moment. Whatever happens at the end of the day, just as a lover of the club or whatever it is that makes you love the club presently, just enjoy what's happening at the moment. Whatever happens next is left to next. For now, just enjoy the moment. So against Chelsea, beautiful moment, enjoy the moment.
All right, that's for the Arsenal fans. But let me go to Austin. Austin was all smiles when we mentioned this. And so it looks like, as a matter of fact, it's just formality. Napoli will win the Serie A. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And it's in their hands. It's in their hands. And the fans are preparing. They're not even talking about the players anymore. It's the fans. They want to capture the moment. Last week, it didn't go the way they expected. The result didn't go their way. But they know a win in the next game. And the title is in their hands. All the celebrations, everything in place, even from the top authorities.
Yeah, I mean, the moment they defeated Juve away from home, the fans already started celebrating, because that was like the major hurdle they needed to pass. And then little did we know that a small team as Salernitana will tell them to wait, but they just don't care, because they know they will definitely win the league title. And what a story Napoli seems to be telling us this season after a 33-year wait. Look, I always tell people that our world of sports, there's just so much lessons in it that if you come closer, you will find one that will uplift you somehow. Napoli, they waited this long. The last time they won the league title, the legendary late Diego Armando Maradona was alive. They haven't seen the league title for almost over 3 decades. And now a young Nigerian, Victor Osimhen, came to this club and they're about to smash that record. Yes, I need to take you to that interest, because Victor Osimhen has been phenomenal for Napoli this season. He has, in fact, been the oxygen that this team needed to keep going on and on to this level where they are. I totally agree with you. They should keep that party going, because it will definitely come.
All right, let's get Idris into it. And Austin has given us another perspective. There is no way you could downplay what Victor Osimhen has done for Napoli.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people right there in Naples are crediting him and the other players for, I mean, and rightly so, for what he has done. Some say he has put Napoli on his shoulders and he has carried
all through the season.
But, you know, in all the noise and everything, are we saying this because we're in Nigeria or it's truly so? I think it's truly so. The noise and everything, there's no other way to look at it than to say this young man has really done well.
Statistics shows us that in the entire Europe, the most consistent striker is Victor Osimhen. I don't mean the striker who has scored more goals. He has spread that goal all through the season. Consistency is like scoring in every game. So every Napoli fans know whenever I come to the stadium, whenever I come to any stadium around Italy, Osimhen is going to get a goal. That is how well he has spread the goals. Some other strikers will do 3, 4 in this game, go 3 games without scoring, score another 3. You know, they score in bulk, but Osimhen had made sure spreading it. Now, I've told colleagues, I've told some friends, I said I'm waiting for the idolizing of Victor Osimhen. While Diego Armando Maradona, the great, did this, he scored 16 goals. And he was idolized till today. The way Napoli fans hold him in high esteem, Osimhen has scored more than 20. This is a matter of taking it to another level. That is how well this man had, you know, personalized what had happened. 2 seasons, he was here. We know how it went. Shoulder injury, this injury, that injury. You know, he was laid out. He couldn't, you know, take part in the entire. Even this season, that has been this consistent, he's had his injury worries. But when I said he took it personal, it was like, whether they tell me I'm going out for 3 months, I'll be back in 2 weeks because I need to steer Napoli all the way to this. Now, since Diego was out, left the club and all of that, we've seen superstars over superstars after superstars come into Napoli for, you can mention names, and they couldn't get it, done this way. Do you know Napoli had done this because mathematically we're just waiting for them to win? But in the real state of logic, Napoli had done this like some 3 months ago. Yeah. It's been like they are untouchable. In short, it's recent result that is keeping Napoli this at bay. Yes, draw, some loss and all of that. So Victor Osimhen has been in the center of this. Right. And you and I are not saying this because we're Nigerians. We're saying it because statistics, like we always say, numbers never lie. Victor has got the numbers.
And it's good we put that in perspective. A lot of people will not think we are waxing lyrical because it's Nigeria. At all. But so let me just quickly go back to Austin. We help us set the play. And, of course, we can go to the Prosperity Cup after that, Austin. But what I was about to say about Victor Osimhen, now he's done this. Do you think it's going to be easy for the Serie A club to keep him? Because it's everywhere. It's not just Nigerian media. Everywhere. It's going to United, it's going to this, it's going to that. Do you think they'll be able to keep him? Because, look, we all agree they've won this. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, in fact, it will come to come earlier than they even anticipate, because if Lazio fails to beat Sassuolo tomorrow, then Napoli will be crowned champions even before they play Udinese in their next match. So it's that close. That's why the guys, the fans in Naples, they don't want to hear what. They're already making that noise so that they can distract Lazio, so they can go on to lose that match, and then they will start the party, and then the game against Udinese will be all formality. But yes, let me come to your question. I mean, it will be so difficult for Napoli to not just hold on to Osimhen. Most of the players in the team, that's just another downside of winning the title, because the money-spending clubs will come after your players. And Osimhen, if you put a 150 million price tag on him, I think a club in Europe will still come for him. Bayern Munich, I know for sure, my sources keep telling me that Bayern Munich, they want Victor Osimhen, because some way, somehow, they know that Mane isn't comfortable at the Allianz Arena anymore and might just leave, and then Osimhen will come in and then fill in that slot. It will be very, very difficult for Napoli. Manchester United are interested. I'm sure if your club Arsenal, they've got good money. I'm sure they will also, jump into that, bid. I don't know about Manchester City. I don't know about Real Madrid. But you know how this transfer thing can happens. Before he even left leave to Napoli, we didn't see Napoli coming with that sort of amount of money. And then when Napoli came, the other guys just backed off. But as it is, I think Victor Osimhen likes the legacy that he's already building in Napoli. But for the right money, Napoli will definitely let him go. And I think he's ready for any challenge. He told us recently when he was given an award that he would like to come, test the waters of the English Premier League. I would like to have him right here in England, go to watch him, see him play football, see him silent his critics. He has grown all through the ranks, and it will be good to see him come to where you don't just play football, you also need to impress the media.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. All right. We're in Nigeria, but you're over there, and I know you've been monitoring the Prosperity Cup. It's been going on in Bayelsa, and interesting things are happening. Idris is still stuck on the Victor Osimhen.
I just wanted to say, if Napoli wants to keep Osimhen, one statement, just tell him you can make yourself more of an immortal if you win the Champions League with Napoli. Stay one more season and try that.
Okay. All right. I had to let him say that because he was stuck on the Victors. But let's go to the Prosperity Cup, Austin.
I know, the Prosperity Cup, and if you want to go back to this Victor Osimhen story, you would totally agree with me that he's a product of the grassroots. And that's why I was saying that we need to keep that grassroots busy. Undika Ogbadi is with the national under-17 team, the Golden Eaglets in Algeria. They're competing at the CAF under-17 AFCON. Those players are products of the grassroots. The Prosperity Cup, this is the 5th edition. We're waiting for it. The organizers, they've said that it will get bigger and better this year. Kickoff has been tentatively placed for May the 26th. This is the
number 13 man.
Finals from last year's edition. It started as the Restoration Cup. The Bayelsa Prosperity Cup. Over 100 communities to play football. Whether it's a religious group, football academies, everything come out. For the government, the major objective is to use it to curb youth restiveness in the state, to use it to empower young persons. And in the last 5 years, and just that, it goes even beyond this position. And I like the fact that it has gone from one government to another, because at the grassroots, everybody wins. We're getting ready for the 5th that will kick off on May the 26th in Bayelsa. And it will be a good one for grassroots football development in Nigeria.
Austin. Definitely, I agree with you. Let me come to Kehinde Idris. We're not going to spend much time on this, but it's interesting to note that you have a competition that's going to span for almost 3 months. You're going to have teams from across a period of 12 weeks and about 250 games.
Yeah.
I mean, and like Austin said, the main reason is just to curb youth restiveness and to promote peace. And if you ask me, 5th edition, if you ask me, that purpose is being achieved already.
Development is at the center of this whole thing. In the words of Francis Obi, the badminton president, he said, if you have competition for every level of, athletes, players, whatever you call it, age cheat issue will be rested. Because if a 17-year-old has got a competition for 17-year-old, he will be there. But the moment there is no competition for 17-year-old and he's only 13-year-old, he wants to perform, he wants to showcase, and then he will be there. So these are development because most of this age cheat happens at that youth level. You're young, you don't have competition and all of that. So Prosperity Cup is a thumbs up, to the organizers from me, saying, continue to expose younger ones to things that you will help them portray what they can do. They show it to the entire world. And from here, let there be another competition. Probably when they're in their 20s, they get involved.
Trust me, the scouts are
already there. That's what you do. Because if I keep training from 11 all the way, no competition, I'm 17. The moment I hear there is an under-12 competition and I'm 17, trust me, I want to be there because I believe agents will be there. Well, if there is a competition for my age, my level, Why do I have to go to other places?
Yeah, I'll also talk about something that we're going to go to next, and he linked all the Osimhen story and the other 17 story, and that's where we're going next. Our next port of call to talk about what's happening with Nigerians on the 17. We've become accustomed to success at this level that we're beginning to take it for granted, and it's showing. Other nations have caught up with Nigeria. So let's just review what has transpired and look at what's going to happen. I'm going to yield the floor to Austin in a bit, but let's quickly show you the results so that we can talk about what has happened. If you've not been monitoring, it was a good start for Uduka Ogbade's boys, and that's it right there on your screen. Let's look at Wednesday's fixtures that you have right there on your screen, and you have, of course, Nigeria, the Golden Eagles of Nigeria will take on Morocco, and of course, South Africa will take on Zambia. Before I go to Austin, in 30 seconds, what do you expect to see tomorrow?
I think I have a bit of fear because I saw how Morocco played South Africa. South Africa were well schooled. 2-0 did not really tell the entire game. 2-0.
Does it tell the story?
Yes, it didn't tell the entire story because South Africa had nothing over Morocco. Now Morocco looks like the best team in that group. And for Nigeria, if you have to be at the next level, especially resting, beat Morocco and already see yourself in the next level. So your last game will be like a rest for you to go into the knockout round. So this is the hardest yet. I want to see how Nigeria gets to hold their own. If we can get past Morocco, then I think South Africa will be a walkover.
All right, let me go to Austin quickly, and I want to get your thoughts. Probably you help us take it to break. Your thoughts on the game you saw and the game we're going to see tomorrow?
I think against Zambia, the boys, were just trying to get into the competition. They were trying to understand themselves. They created chances, but in the final third, they didn't utilize it properly. See some of the highlights, you can tell that they were just trying to see how they can feel the ball, knock it around until the good goalkeeper saved there, struck the woodwork. The favorite broke the deadlock. By this team, you could tell that they were still a bit mental. Zambia also had an opportunity to go, in front in the second half, but Nigeria was saved with the woodwork. They has attributed this first win to, listening to some of the things that he took. Now, against Morocco, they have a clip to watch. They would have gone to see what Morocco did to South Africa. For me, the Moroccans, they were a bit tactical. They were running into spaces. Their positional play was also good. So the Golden Eagles must find a way to stop them, otherwise they will be punished. I think the Golden Eagles also get very against Morocco. I think we'll see more of their quality. Yeah. I think they will come out to score goals. But I'm a bit worried about their defending. Because if Morocco scores, it will also motivate them. My football, it's developmental, no pressure. 17, we can tell. And look, no matter what anybody says, this set of under 17, they are young guys.
Yes.
And it shows that we want to do the right things. The future looks good. So let's hope they do good against Morocco. The momentum going at the competition.
All right, I'm going to get to you, but I'm very sure our viewers want to look at the table. It's always interesting when Nigeria is somewhere good on the table. So this is the situation. Let's see how it looks. Kehinde Idris said it. Morocco on top, followed by Nigeria, Zambia, and South Africa. This is the situation. And of course, I'm hoping that Nigeria will, of course, top this table after the next game. So that's the situational report. All right, so Austin, let me get back to you. I have a few minutes before we go on a break. It's time to probably, if we have a few minutes, to talk about the situation with Rivers United and how it looks as if the cookie has crumbled for them.
Yeah, for Rivers United, what a story in the CAF Confederation Cup. We said that it was going to be a very difficult game, but you know what? Let's just put a pause on that conversation. Go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll get into it proper. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Just before we went on that break, we're getting into the conversation for the Confederation Cup. Nigeria's Rivers United, they went to Dar es Salaam with a very difficult task of overturning a 2-0 deficit that they conceded in Uyo when they first took on Young Africans of Tanzania. Unfortunately, the game ended goalless, but it wasn't good enough for Rivers United to advance as Young Africans booked their first semi-final place in the CAF Confederation Cup. Kende Idris, I said it that it was over in the first leg for Rivers United because they lost the game when they shouldn't have, and then they got to Dar es Salaam and didn't do just enough to get back into it.
It's as simple as that. I think sometimes it's not the loss itself, it's the manner at which the loss happened. Especially with Nigerian clubs representing us on the continent in recent years, maybe I would say in the last 10 years thereabout, it's been a worry. You have to understand with the away goal rule and all of that, and then with the shenanigans that happens at the away grounds, talking about the away home, you're visiting away teams, you should understand everything you need to do at home, you need to do it perfectly. Yes, maybe you can say not perfect, near perfect, but losing 2-0 at home, there is no way. It's just hard. I think the only teams that can lose a 2-0 lead away coming back home is a Nigerian team. I can almost bet that. We can do that where we'll go away, win 2-0, and we'll still come back and falter. Because these teams understand. Do you know that the Young Africans needed not to do much? Just manage Rivers United in the second leg and coast home. Because if that game, Young Africans needed a goal, I'm sure they will get a goal on that day. But they didn't need to go into second gear. Just stay on first gear, manage Rivers United, put them at bay, give them half chances, and then you're home and dry. 2-0, and we're still using the away goal. So Rivers United needed 3 goals at least to overturn this. 2 goals to take it to extra time, 3 goals to seal it, qualifying for the next round. So when I heard Saleguma talking, and all of the players talking about the things that happened in Dar es Salaam, in Tanzania, I was like, yes, maybe it's heel, maybe it's wrong, maybe it's funny, but in the first place, you had a chance at home and you did not discipline yourself enough. And that was where the game was lost. Everything that happened in Tanzania is like a formality. So worrisome, but I keep going back to the fact that where will Nigerian teams continue? Where will we stop, to continue losing in this manner? It's not a pain that we're out of the, continental games every time, but it's the manner at which we get to lose. Look at Remo Stars. Look at Bayelsa United. The manner was just, so funny. Plateau United also. It's just so painful, and it keeps happening. I don't know if next season will change, but up until now, same story, just different teams.
I mean, there's nothing to add. If you play back what we said 2 years ago, we probably same words Kende Idris used. It appears like we are not ready. So it's not just about Rivers United. The football house needs to do something. Our football philosophy, the preparedness of the teams, a whole lot goes into all of this. So, I mean, so that we don't just now start sounding like a broken record. It's there. But I hope that we've learned our lessons and we'll be able to change. All right, let's talk about the one that it appears like maybe the teams are ready for. For the continental, obviously shows the signs are there, they're not ready. But the ones that's happening here, they're ready. So let's review match day 16. This is the first chance that we have after the weekend to look at what happened. So let's do that quickly and see what has happened in that one. And especially as the teams begin to look towards making it to the top 6. So let me just quickly walk across and take a look at this results, and I'll get the thoughts of my guys. Let's start with Group A, Kende Idris, and because we don't really have much time, I'll allow you to look at the screen and just Any surprises?
I think the biggest winner on matchday 16 is Remo Stars. I don't know how they pulled that off, but beating Aqua United just put them back in that proper conversation. Some 2 weeks ago, even last week before this game, it was like, okay, Remo Stars will make do with not dropping. They will just remain in the league. But in the conversation of making the Super Six, they were almost looking like outside there. For Aqua United, in recent time, they've been going on a roll. And then Remo Stars managed. I listened to the coach, and he said hard-fought win. This was hard-fought, and it paid off. Now they are in the conversation for the Super Six, and it's beautiful. For Bendel Insurance, winning is not on the plate right now, but not losing is also very important. And they've equaled that 15 games unbeaten run of Aqua United. We want to see if they can go ahead and stay, make it 16 or 17. So we start talking about them as the team that has the longest unbeaten run in the Nigerian Professional Premier Football League as it stands. So I think that's how it stands. For Eyimba, they continue their fine run, and it looks like Eyimba and Bendel Insurance might not be touchable at the end of the day. So Remo Stars, Plateau United, Aqua United are the teams looking to usurp each other for the third.
Those are your picks.
I'm saying for the third team run in Group A. I think for Bendel and Eyimba, it looks like they will just nick the first and second position.
Okay, all right. Let me now. I just want to probably go to Austin and see if he has different thoughts as to some of these things. Before we take a look at the table, I know we don't have time, but usually you can't just go past this things without saying a few things. Any surprises for you? And we just 1 or 2 games left. Are you bold enough to make 3 picks?
Not yet, Yemi. Except you want me to make a pick from just one pick from Group A and Group B. Group A, I'll say Bendel Insurance. Group B, I'll say Lobby Stars. For now, that's all I'll say. But surprises a bit, you know. While everyone's looking at Remo Stars, Aqua United, Eyimba had a difficult game because they needed to win at El Kanemi to get back into relevance, and they did. And with that away win that Eyimba recorded on matchday 16, it means that we have recorded away wins on every match day in this abridged season except matchday 8. So only one match day did not produce an away win. That's a very important record for the league, because that's the criticism that the league gets, that we don't get away win. Plateau United, people aren't talking about them until you find out how difficult it is to play Kwara United now. Kwara United, they're playing for their lives to avoid the drop. For a team that played on the continent last season, it will be inexplicable to understand if they get relegated. So Plateau United went away and picked a vital point. And then Remo Stars, after that decision by the NFF Disciplinary Committee, there's no way that they will not jump on the opportunity to beat Aqua United and get back to relevance on a Group A table. But now that Rivers United are out of the continent, they will focus on the league, and we'll get more analysis coming out of Group B.
You talked about the table. I think our viewers would love to see that as well. So let's just see if we can see the table. And that's it. Okay, this is Group B. Oh, yeah, Group A. My guys are afraid to make their picks. Some of them just picking one. But Bendel Insurance, Eyimba, and Remo Stars, if everything was ending today, these 3.
But it won't end today.
But it won't end today, unfortunately.
There is no COVID.
But that's the situation report. Bendel Insurance, Eyimba, and Remo Stars in that position that could get them into the final 6. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's switch gears now and quickly go to Group B, where the action is, and talk about the results. Results first. I think we'll do results first, and but I mean, let me get your thoughts while we're working on that.
Lobby United, like Austin mentioned, I think in the absence of Rivers United and all of their, continent issues, games and all of that, Lobby United continues to hold their own, and Lobby, up until matchday 16. Stays as the only team that has not dropped a point at home. It's all win in their home games. I think that's fantastic. So they made that Lokoja, venue a fortress. If you have to come there, understand that all you need to do, kit up, get onto the field and go back, you know, empty-handed, because they'll get all 3 points, which is fantastic.
What was unique about Group B was that all the home teams won.
Doma United is another team I want to talk about. Whether Doma eventually makes the Super Six or not, I think they've steered the ruffled feathers already. And I love the fact that it is a privately owned team and they are doing this. Sometimes the reason why I hag on privately owned team is the fact that it feels like only government-owned teams can do this. They just got promoted and they are here. And it looks like 2 games to go, Doma might just make it. Whether they do not, you're sure they won't get relegated.
Definitely.
So they'll still be here. Fantastic for them. Lobby Stars, Abia Warriors, and Rivers United look like they are the big boys that will take this. But Doma is in the mix and, you know, disturbing everybody. At the end of the day, Hope Links will just get dropped. For Rivers United, get back to winning ways. The continent is now over 3 games in hand. Get to probably win every or win some, and then get back to talking about the Super Six mixture.
We have a few minutes before we round things up. Let me go to Austin, and just a few words, then you take it from there and lead us through the few things we have left. I'm very sure you're monitoring what's going on between Arsenal and Chelsea, but that's for later. Group B, you've not made any pick. It's not going to end today. But any surprises with some of the results you saw over the weekend?
No surprises for me. I was waiting to see Doma play, but because of Rivers United absence, they didn't play. But shout out to Lobby Stars. Each time they needed to show character to keep their position on top of the Group B table, they do just that. I think Bayelsa United also showing some level of consistency on that Group B table. Rangers, they know that they will not make the Super Six, but they need to show superiority at this stage now. Win the remaining games to, you know, show that, or tell their fans we're sorry for what happened in the first stanza. This second stanza, give them wins and then keep your relevance as Rangers. Besides that, Group B just looks good enough for Rivers United to come back with 3 outstanding games, do their thing, and get back down to the leadership position.
All right, let's reward our viewers who are sticking with us, but also want to know what's happening in that game. So let's put them out of the misery and tell them what's going on. And I know you've been monitoring the game.
Yes, it's now Arsenal 3 and Chelsea 1. Just now, Mikel Arteta took off Zinchenko and he's been replaced by Tierney. Chukwuemeka scored his first Premier League goal for Chelsea. For Chelsea in the 65th minute. So, you know, put one back for the Blues that don't look like they will definitely take anything out of this one. Arsenal just being careful, protect their lead, and then get back to the top of the English Premier League table, you hear me?
All right, and I mean, we want to listen to Pep Guardiola as well. You know, we're talking about him and how he's been preparing his team.
Big game for Manchester City against West Ham. You know, these London teams, they might just be playing for Arsenal. You know, these days, you know, when they come to London, they are not just playing West Ham or playing Brentford or playing Fulham. They are playing Arsenal alongside. So it's a very tough game for Manchester City. If you think that's I'm just bluffing, go look at the league table and you will understand that it's a very difficult game for Pep Guardiola and his Manchester City team. Just to set the record straight, it was Nani Madueke that scored for Chelsea that makes it Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. Let's listen to Pep Guardiola. He's been speaking ahead of that clash against West Ham.
It's 1 month and 1 more week for sure, and fight for the 2 more weeks. And we play the last 6-7 years in this situation, play 6-7 games in 1 month. How many times? A lot. A lot. It's not the first time we play 6-7 games in 1 month. I would say it happened a lot of times. So everything is here. Now the mental strength will be there. And in that period is the best period we can live. And we are not tired. If you are tired and you have positive thoughts, you are not tired. And now is another opportunity to, you know, it's just 6 games left. We have a game, one of the games we have to recover and go for it. And that's all. And if one player is tired, hands up. Because if you do hands up, it's because you are ready. And when you're ready, you have to perform well. For you, for your mates, to win the game. I'm enough busy to know what you have to do tomorrow against West Ham, because the West Ham maybe didn't do this in Premier League the season that they expect, because they have done the last 2 seasons with David Moyes have been exceptional, but that doesn't mean the quality is not there. I used to review the game against Liverpool as one, and Arsenal a little bit, and I will review this afternoon the game we play in the first game of the league, in the Premier League, and the quality is there. So they are a good team. They didn't do a good season that they expect, but the team is there. That's, I don't have doubts, any doubt. In one game, everything happened. That's why we have to be absolutely ready.
That's it, Pep Guardiola. He mentioned, Coyote mentioned mental strength. I think that's all Manchester City needs to keep going in this charge to win a treble, particularly with Arsenal winning tonight against Chelsea. They need that mental strength tomorrow.
Exactly, and I think putting Arsenal in jeopardy right now in the mix to win the league is this mental strength. I think in the last stretch, Yemi likes to call it the home stretch, I think the mental strength really failed the Arsenal setup. Whether there are some key players like Tomiyasu, Saliba and the likes, they failed to hold down their mental strength. And they played like a team that the pressure of winning the league is really taking its tolls on. So Man City understands this, especially this man, Pep Guardiola. And when your coach understands this, knows what it means, I think you're just on the win-win, situation, because he paused that on the team entirely.
And just for laughs, funny one. A lot of people have called Guardiola likes to trick people.
He does.
Deceives
He does.
teams, starts praising you.
There is a name I called him when we're off air.
Tricks his opponent. And you know, you're listening to him, and he's saying a lot of things about the opponents. And he hits
Although
them,
this West Ham,
and he hits them 5-6.
What Man City saw against Fulham, I think they should be wary of West Ham.
All right.
Yeah.
We're about to go, but Austin, we should have been listening to Jurgen Klopp, but we can't because of time. But the news is that he's been hit by the FA with a charge. We saw that coming. Wasn't going to escape it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and the FA, they are very prompt with these things. And when these things happen, that's the same thing I always talk about the NPFL, that we should be prompt with this so that no form of misconduct will be allowed in the league. But they have a very important game against Fulham, and I'm sure the players will come out to see what they can do in that one for Jurgen Klopp. I mean, it seems we don't have much time. It's still Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. Let me tell you how poor Chelsea has been this season. Mateo Kovacic provided the assist for Noni Madueke to score his first Premier League goal. That's Kovacic's second assist this season. No Chelsea player has more.
Wow.
Second assist.
All right.
No Chelsea player has more.
We have to leave it there.
Sure. Yeah, I have to just leave it there. That's still for people who are wondering what's going on. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Okay, I want to thank you. The conversation never ends. We take it out of the studio, but I want to thank you for your time on the show.
It never ends, really. It's nice to be here.
All right, and that's the show today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to do. We'll be here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.